Welcome to another episode of the Carpe Fide podcast, where if the shoe fits, you wear it.
And if the truth hurts, you bear it.
I am Justin Gruber.
And I am Jesse Gruber.
And today we hope you will seize the faith. Welcome to episode 131 of the Carpe Fide podcast.
I don't know how to say that in Spanish. Cien
No,
31.
that's okay. 131 in Spanish. You can
know.
just say that, and there it is.
That's how white people say it.
So, episode 131 is going to be a continuation of episode 129.
You thought we forgot. You thought we weren't going to do more Christian nationalism content.
Right, but we're going to revisit the revisiting of Christian nationalism from episode 129.
It's like you visited again, because the first time was so good.
And this time we're actually going to play the clips from a breakout session at the G3 in which...
It was G3 Live.
Oh, G3 Live. It was like the little interview type thing that they do.
I did not know that was a thing until after the conference. I had no idea that they did that.
Well, it is weird when you're in the conference and like all of a sudden there's a stage and cameras and lighting and a few people sitting, and then there's this big platform and you're walking behind it.
Yes.
Trying to get to, on the main concourse. It's like, am I in this video? I don't really want to be. Then like you see the people like randomly trying to duck down and you're like, no, you don't have to duck. They have the elevated platform.
Yeah,
it's okay. Just walk normal.
But boy, did they try.
Anyway, we're going to break this down where Owen Strachan is being interviewed and he's speaking about just some, I guess, mainstay internet kind of throwback points over his topic and some of the, the still images and quotes that G3 tweeted out and some of the statements he made from his pre-conference talk at G3 on Christianity and kinism. Christian nationalism and kinism.
Yeah, Christianity and kinism.
Yeah, and I actually, I don't want to make any statements. I got to go back and look, but I think that is changed. That title has changed from what he originally posted on Twitter, which then changed to what it was called before to when it was posted publicly. I'm just gonna
maybe,
but I could be wrong. I don't want to say that for sure. It doesn't.
Maybe
really
he
matter.
became more nuanced.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. These comments. Stunning, beautiful, brave.
All right. We're not here for the comments. That's all we're here for.
Kind of am. Maybe at the end. Maybe at the end if we have time.
I'm not here to degrade or belittle Owen Strachan.
Neither am I. I'm here
you're here to read the
funny comments.
Funny comments that degrade and belittle Owen Strachan.
It's funny.
All right. So if you haven't listened to episode 129, I would encourage you to pause right now. Go back and listen to episode 129. Because what I'm not going to do is redefine kinism.
That was a rewind noise.
The quick overview is there are three different views of kinism. There's the opinion-based kinism. The opinion-based kinism is that it is a net good for people to marry inside of their own ethnicities to maintain the diverse different ethnicities by, having those ethnicities and those lines maintained. That's an opinion. Those people don't necessarily say that one ethnicity is better than the others, but rather that it is best that there is all ethnicities and that is preferred. In fact, some Christians would quote the fact that, Paul instructs in Acts that God has given ethnicities and directed the bounding of them, at any given time in nations. So anyway, that's the opinion-based kinism. The sociological kinism.
I said we weren't going to review the whole thing.
No, this is just a real quick. Sociological kinism is that sociologically kinism it is observed that the vast majority of human beings throughout time immemorial have maintained and married within their own ethnicities to the overwhelming majority. It's just an observable sociological event. And the third-based kinism would be a more ethnocentric kinism in which a particular ethnicity believes that their ethnicity is the best and therefore they should not marry outside of it. This would be a more ethnocentric and racist form of kinism. It's not exclusive to necessarily a white or black or yellow, or it doesn't matter. It's whichever one it would be racist. So that would be the three. That's your brief overview of kinism, and I will not talk about that again because we're just going to talk about the comments then made about kinism here. This is basically...
It was a good job. It was briefer than I thought it was going to be.
Thanks. This is basically just an interviewer asking questions of Owen Strachan.
He has a name.
But I always forget his name.
Jon Root.
Jon Root?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe you're right, actually. It doesn't matter. He's got great hair. And if you're not known for anything else, to have great hair is awesome.
And this got really awkward really fast.
Okay. Basically, he takes the different comments and questions that he had seen online from some of the clips that were shared by G3, some of the comments that were highlighted by G3, the quotes that were highlighted by G3, and just some general pushback that is given by, as he says, internet trolls, and to be sure, some of them are internet trolls solely. And then Owen responds to them, and it's some of these responses that really kind of generate in me I have some questions. I have concerns, and I have thoughts, and I think that we can dialogue about them.
I would love to do that because nobody else seems to be.
I guess. No. If you listen inside of evangelical reform kind of podcast, you probably heard this particular breakout interview thing for G3 Live gone over and talked about, but maybe not in as much detail as we're about to do it. We're going to let Owen just talk for a minute or two and then kind of communicate some of our concerns about what we're having. All this, by the way, just to clarify, if you've not listened to episode 129, we very much appreciate Owen Strachan. Owen Strachan has supported us when we started the Pulpit Shirt way back when, and I have no way having any problems with Owen Strachan. In fact, I really appreciate a lot of the work he did fighting against woke ideology and of the like. However, many of the arguments that are now being formulated and used to kind of attack Christian nationalism, generally speaking, from a white ethnocentric kinism, as Owen Strachan will define it, are much the same kind of arguments that were used to attack Christianity generally during his many battles against wokeness. So anyway, we'll see that play out.
We will. We'll hear it play out.
Oh,
video yet. Does anybody want video, by the way?
With our ears. Yeah, if you would like
with
video,
our oars.
please, with our oars. We are paddling
in the middle.
We are swimming in the stream of the podcast. Yeah, if you would like video, we've kicked around the idea of starting a YouTube channel. It requires a little more work, but if you like to see our faces, maybe in a better way, maybe even better than how we've been on videos before, we're willing to branch out and try that if that's something that you think would be beneficial and helpful. Might allow us to put like different things up on the screen and such.
Maybe.
Ooh,
depends on how fancy we can get.
We could get pretty fancy.
All right.
Nonetheless, so here's this. Here's the G3 Live with Owen Strachan on kinism from the G3 conference breakout thingy interview special.
Yay, G3 Live.
We're going to pick this up. We'll include a link to this video in the notes here, so you can click on the link in the notes if you would like to follow along.
Hope I remember to do that.
Yeah, well, I just said it, so I hope so. It's right there. Just, it doesn't matter. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, but I don't make the post right now.
You're a grown man. You're a beautiful grown man.
And then
smart, stylish. So I'll give you the minute markers that we're starting at. There's opening and a little bit of fluff, and he acknowledges the fact that Erin Coates is there, even though you won't hear her because
so maybe the very end.
It's kind of awkward.
She is a great listener.
Yes, very great listener. She's obviously very engaged.
Gracious.
I think she's trying to stay engaged and like, oh no, what did I get into? But nonetheless. We'll start at the 3 minute and 40 second mark here, where Jon Root's going to give just a quote from his pre-conference talk to Owen Strachan, and some of the trolling that went on with it, and kind of get Owen Strachan's thoughts on it.
I never made sure that. Okay, well, let's just go.
I pull that up is. You said, and I hope I'm quoting this right, and tell me if I'm wrong, I believe in a democracy, not a dictatorship. Can you expand on that a little bit more, too? Because there's a little bit of pushback saying, like, well, America is a constitutional republic, and we're not actually a democracy. You sound like a left-winger when you say that. Can you explain that a little bit more for the Twitter trolls?
This is a fun age when just standing for basic common sense apparently makes you a leftist.
How dare you?
Or woke. Freedom of speech, religious liberty, what a terrible idea. I do not care what people say about me. I do not care. I am reminded of Gandalf. I am no Gandalf, literarily or otherwise. I'm a lot shorter than him, for example.
Yeah,
Although that
no one
hat, I
thought
would
that,
like one
Owen.
of those hats.
No
That
one
would be
thought.
pretty fly. But Gandalf says at one point, I have not passed through fire and shadow, whatever he says, to land in this small little controversy, paraphrasing. And I haven't done battle personally with wokeness and been massively affected by those struggles in order to come out of this and have people call me a leftist because I believe in religious liberty, free speech, democracy, constitution, constitutional republic. These are just...
He hasn't passed through fire and shadow. He hasn't passed through fire and shadow to get caught up in these mindless little debates that he starts. I don't know what we're doing here.
I feel like he's dedicated a lot of time to this for not trying to address it.
Yeah, literally, this is just to go back. He changed his pre-conference topic to kinism specifically because of internet trolls, just to be clear.
Yeah. I don't know if that is that peer pressure. I don't know what is that called.
Literally. In fact, I know that. I can't. Why did I lose his name? 80 Robles had said some stuff and made some comments.
80 Robles.
On the Twitters, and I know that was one of the things that kind of led to it. So I just want to say, like, that part's not. I don't know if I buy that. It's a little bit of posturing there. But what I will say is that no Christian subscribes to democracy. Like no one does. We don't do that. We don't operate inside of democracy. We operate inside of a theocracy, inside of our own lives, our own homes, inside of our churches. We want God to rule and reign. And I say that specifically because even if you subscribe to a man form of government that is a constitutional republic, the reason we don't do democracy is because democracy literally leaves stuff open for majority rule. And we don't want that. No one wants that. And so it is important for us to, as we communicate, be precise with our language.
I mean, words matter. And the thing is that he's not unfamiliar with that way of thinking. And I feel like since he isn't unfamiliar with that, he probably could have chosen his words better. I mean, I don't think he's woke because he said that or, said those things. But I mean, I would think that people could definitely say that. And leftists do tend to not use the right words a lot. But he's not a leftist. He's not a leftist, guys.
No, he's not a leftist. That part is true. But you don't want to grandstand, and that's kind of what happened here. It's kind of what makes internet trolls troll.
Yeah, it was a very strange flex. I mean, he led up to that. It was kind of self-aggrandizing almost.
Also, if you're going to quote Gandalf, have that quote ready.
Have that quote ready. Yeah, you don't
be up on that one.
You don't just throw that out.
And I do want to say, like, we'll get to some places here where the arguments that he uses and the ideas that he makes with kinism are exactly the arguments the left made against Christianity as BLM was taking hold. The idea of Christian nationalism was a leftist talking point against anyone who had conservative values, particularly Christian values. And it was that's where Christian nationalism started really taking off,
right?
Because it was
that as well.
Because the realization is that we could embrace. If you're going to call us that, we'll embrace that because we do have Christian values and we do hold God as the sovereign, and they are a priority to us. That doesn't make us racist. That's kind of the problem. Actually, it's the same tool of the left. Anyway,
all right. So we can continue the clip then.
Oh, you want to continue this clip, or you want to roll it right into the next clip?
Well, the next clip starts in 2 seconds, so
let's do it.
All right.
Just lies. It feels right now. There's room for disagreement over Christian nationalism. There's absolutely room. There's different streams of Christian nationalism. There's what I would call gospel-driven Christian nationalism. There's law-driven Christian nationalism. Both of those are viable. Both of those have to be dealt with charitably and carefully. But
yeah. Both of those have to be dealt with charitably and carefully.
He hasn't dealt with either of them.
Well, yeah, but this whole idea of dealing with something, you deal with something because it's a problem. That's why you have to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't think he meant that, though.
No, but that's why...
I thought he meant address it.
Right. You have to
But
address it
he also doesn't
charitably
address
and
it.
carefully. I would do that. I mean, that's important to do. Yes, it's important to do that. How would you think you would go about dealing with that? Like, if you have a topic of, that's, an issue, what do you do when, like, someone, has a different opinion than yours?
Have a conversation about it.
Oh, no, that's just preposterous. How dare you? Who do you think you are? You're just going to talk to somebody about a differing opinion?
I mean, I don't have any social credit to lose, so yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not. So here's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to come across as like I hate Owen Strachan, because I don't. First off, that's not true. I met him once, but he doesn't.
We will not talk about that.
We're not talking about that. I did meet him once, but no. We do not hate Owen Strachan. That's not the point of this. But there are many, very numerous inconsistencies here, and I think those inconsistencies are what drew a lot of the confusion and a lot of the retorts and rebuttals and sarcasm and memes from this interaction with Owen at the G3 conference on Christian nationalism, because he says one thing but then does the other, or he says one thing and then 3 minutes later says the opposite thing, and it's very hard to know what you actually mean when that happens. And so I think a lot of the criticism is warranted. But yeah. The interesting thing is that, later on he refuses to he refuses to platform people.
Don't jump the gun. We're not
okay.
there yet.
All right, fine.
You can let it play out a little longer, this particular section.
Then there is also, yes, this movement I call mono-ethnic Christian nationalism. And sadly, there is kinism in and through it. Not that everybody who would hold to that even is a kinist, but it's there. You can find it. I quoted sources online. And so they can...
Oh, that's where the timestamp stopped.
Yeah, you can stop it. That's probably a good stop.
All right.
I just feel like if you want to have a charitable view of Christian nationalism there in any way, it really gets lost when all you keep hammering is a mono-ethnic. One, you're not having a conversation with any Christian nationalist that may have a perspective on it that's biblical.
Right. Even non-kinist Christian nationalists.
Right. And all you're doing is hammering the kinist part. It makes it makes it sound like you have that there's only issues. There's only issues.
Right. It's
that
literally
you need to deal with.
It is literally what the left does when they find the craziest right winger and try to make that representative of all of conservatism.
Right. It's like it's like Republicans pounce, right? It's like
yes.
Conservatives pounce, Christians pounce, right?
Yes. Cisgender white male.
Oh, we're selling fetal parts, and the Christian church is praying outside. Christians pounce, it's like
right, yeah.
Come on, man.
Do you remember when that politician in Philly pushed those pro-lifers like in the street? Do you remember that? And then we went to that rally.
Oh,
Mount
yes.
Yeah. You got to see Graham Allen.
Yeah, I got a picture of Graham Allen. That was fun.
Yeah, good times.
He is shorter than you'd think.
You think he's shorter than Owen Strachan?
No.
All right.
No. That wasn't against Owen Strachan. It's not. It's just physically he's not shorter than
Next
Owen
clip. I have to. We're
going to move forward.
Yeah,
about 8 minutes.
Forward a few minutes.
About 8 minutes here. 8 minutes 6 seconds.
You just want me to play through?
Yeah, go ahead.
Initiating playthrough.
Commercial. I can't believe
What a horrible thing to say. It's funny because people are calling for church discipline against me for saying these kinds of things.
I'm actually glad you called for that. We're going to do that in front of everybody here on the live stream at the conference.
Everybody in the
Just
background looks over.
I can't believe you would say something like that.
Who votes for me to be excommunicated? All right, let's do this right now. It really is backwards, though, Johnny, because honestly, if you are kinist, and I don't know who is and who isn't in some cases, I'm warning against a system of thought. This is what I tried to do with wokeness. I'm warning against a system. There are systems, ideologies that try to take people captive, Colossians 2:8. We have seen that happen with so many people we love, so many churches we love, so many movements that were once sound. They've been taken captive by ungodly ideology. But that's not the only one out there. There are other systems, and kinism is one of them. And saying that it is wrong at some level to marry across ethnicity, or conversely, more positively, it is good for you to, you need to preserve your ethnicity. These are unbiblical ideas. This is pride talking. This is a new law that is not in the Word of God. This is the only standard there is from God. So I'm ready. They can do whatever they want to me. They can say whatever they want about me. I stand for the gospel, creating a global church. And I wasn't saying there that people have said the church is only supposed to be composed of white people. But I'm drawing a line to warn people against an ideology that's real.
Yeah. All right, let's do something more spicy.
Right, and in referencing this is the famous picture that was put out on Twitter.
Ratioed.
It did get ratioed. The image was of Owen Strachan, and it was whatever the G3 decided to clip as his picture. And the quote was, "God does not love a merely white church in America. God loves a global people of all backgrounds and tribes." And that is correct.
Yes. As a matter of fact,
everyone agreed.
As a matter of fact, absolutely no one disagreed with that.
Right. And here, the whole church discipline, I'm sure people have called for just church discipline over this. I'm sure because people are stupid. And
people are stupid.
People do stupid things.
Crazy people on Twitter are crazy.
People do stupid things a lot, often. Most people, actually. But it's like he was just trying to generate this martyrdom situation here. It's like, let's stop it. Just stop it.
Play the fiddle, Mr. Root.
There's and then he got off into this is that the
quote?
Racist.
Something about a fiddle and Mr. Ridley. Was that a fiddle? Why do I think fiddle? I think fiddle and Ridley because they're Ridley and fiddly.
Light a candle.
Yeah, something. I'm butchering it.
You are.
I just delete this. Just delete the whole thing.
We've already gone so far. There's very interesting things that biblically you have to deal with. That in Scripture, when God calls Israel to a religious ethnic purity, I mean he does do that.
Yikes!
I know it's scary to say, but at the same time, even in that, what we see is some interesting things, like the fact that turns out, I know this is going to be surprising to some people, Rahab was not a Hebrew.
Where are my pearls? I want to clutch them.
Rahab wasn't a Hebrew, so even in that, there's a aspect to this that was, has always been the reality of following God is not given to simply an ethnicity. And so, of course, we acknowledge that wholeheartedly. That in no way, yes, Rahab, also she's in the lineage of Jesus. Yes. I mean, and who else is, that'd be Ruth. Ruth was also in the lineage, and she is a Moabite. No, not RBG. Ruth was a Moabite. However, when you look at the lineage, you'd have to look at it and say, wow, most of these people are Jews, hardcore Jews.
Yeah, they're quite Jewish.
And so
they're
even
either
in
Jewish
that,
or God haters turned, believers.
And screaming at the 15 loud mono-ethnic Kenneths is an absolutely ridiculous place to start again.
Yeah, you don't let those 15 guys tie you up on the stake to burn you. And
because
then claim to be the martyr there.
It's people today still subscribe to Arius's fallacy, his heresy, right? But I don't devote sermons to it because it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. No one's. It's oh yeah, let's get the Council of Nicaea together again so we can handle Arius. No, we handled that. So putting this statement out, right? That almost the whole world agrees with, almost the whole Christian Reform world agrees with, it's not a helpful statement. It's tilting at windmills.
Right. So
then to make yourself a martyr over it because some stupid idiot trolls are being trolls.
And then backtrack to say oh no, nobody I wasn't saying that people were saying that, but it's you kind of were in the context of Christianity and Kinnism, you are these statements are representative of actual people, are they not? But I guess he's saying that they're not, but then why say it at all? Then why say, everyone's yeah, okay, and he's coming at Christian nationalism, and he's making these really weird, grandiose statements, and it's but nobody thinks that so who's he talking to? That was kind of the most confusing thing, and that's probably the question that I heard the most coming out of that post is who is he talking to? Is he talking to the Nazis? Because, yeah, sure, they need to hear that. But, like, you know, who else does? I don't know.
Yep, that's kind of the issue here.
Yeah.
I also, again, as an opinion,
I did not come through fire and flame. Oh my gosh!
I do want to say again, as an opinion, I don't know if anyone, I don't know if it's just me, but like I do logically see why some people are like, well, no, let's have children and marriages inside of our own ethnicity so that we can have a global and diverse church. I understand their point. I disagree with it, but I understand it. Like I'm not so stupid or foolish to like act like I don't understand that, right? Like God has made all these different ethnicities. If we are all Christians and we all marry within our ethnicities, it remains diverse. If we just all marry each other, then it would remove those ethnicities. I can understand that argument. That is a relatively logical argument. However, there is no Jew or Greek, slave or free, male or female, all are one in Christ Jesus. Breaks down those barriers to say we're all part of a holy nation.
Right. And like the interesting thing is like I doubt that Owen would be super for like globalist agendas, right? Or like
you know, I do know he should reach out because I know a pastor of a global church. I don't know him personally, but I've seen him on the internet so many times.
oh my gosh.
And he thinks he might be God, but his name is Stephen Furtick. Stephen Furtick literally says exactly what Owen just said. Now, I don't think he meant to say it in this interview. He says a global church, and it's like, oh, I mean, I know what you mean, but
right, he means a
global
church,
Christianity, a global faith.
He means made up of all of the different ethnicities, but not
like a
But
chemist.
in order to have,
like a chemist would.
But like, so here's the reality though. That doesn't. So like, the interesting thing is like when you think about that, that doesn't mean ethnicities intermarrying. That means that every ethnicity believing. Like the makeup is of all ethnicities.
You better be real careful here, bud.
It has nothing. It has nothing to do. He's not going to hear this. What's he going to do? Tank our podcast?
Oh no, we'll lose hundreds of
non-existent listeners.
No, we have plenty of listeners. We'll just lose. We won't. I meant money. But
you meant money.
Money here. No money in this.
That is true. The only money is going out.
What
to
we will
our
gain is
podcast
lots of
hosting
time.
service. Thank you, Dropwave.
Lots of time. Yes, Dropwave, a free speech,
thoroughly
reformed.
Christian. Yes. Kennist? No,
Oh my gosh, that's not true.
That's not true. All right, I'm
Gabe,
sorry.
Gabe's gonna message you.
He's not listening to this either. All right.
So we can go to the next clip.
Sure.
It starts right now, so you can just hit play.
Man, this is really convenient.
Tried to make it easy.
Spicy, Owen, blasphemy laws. Honest thoughts about that and that being pushed here within the Christian nationalism debate.
Pause it real quick.
I'm a pretty
I want you to listen for the interesting contradictions in the next 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right, now put your listening caps on.
I'm scared I'm going to miss it now. Now I have anxiety.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I apologize.
serious free speech guy. So I don't think that we are setting up a new Israelite theocracy in America. I don't think we have any New Testament, New Covenant call to that. So I hate blasphemy of God. But I recognize, you have to recognize that any law that you set can be used against you. And so I would not be an advocate of strong blasphemy laws. I would be an advocate of free speech. That's not because I think that's a small thing. What I want the church to do is get out there and be a witness in the world and take the Great Commission seriously and make disciples by proclaiming Christ, speaking the truth in love, Ephesians 4:15. So I'm not a blasphemy law advocate in the sense that we set up a Christian nation and now Christianity rules the day. I don't think that's what we are called to institute and establish in this era. We are, if we get in public office, we want Christians, salt and light. We want them governors and presidents and prime ministers and statesmen and et cetera and so on. We want all of that. And when they're in office, we want them to craft good law. We want good law. We want the restraint of evil. But you have to be very careful with these kinds of things because we don't want to create a formalized Christianity where you're thought to be Christian just by virtue of living somewhere or being in a certain family, being in a Christian family. You are not a Christian if you are born into a Christian family. Some may say that. Some we love may argue along those lines. You are only a Christian when you are born again by God's grace as a believer. So we want to protect that in the home and also in society.
I think another.
No one says that. No one says that.
Someone says what?
That you're a Christian because you live in a certain place. Like, no serious person, even if a person thinks they are because they live in a certain place, no teaching, reformed, biblical person says that.
No, I mean, I don't even know a Christian nationalist that says that.
Nope. Yeah, the Christian part is pretty key.
Yeah. So that is, you have to apply what that actually is to the individials then, and you can only actually be a Christian.
It's called a straw man, by the way, when you make that and attack it.
A Christian. Now the interesting thing, and I think we mentioned this before, that Scott Aniol has tweeted something like this, is that Christians in office should only make laws to restrain evil. And I feel like Owen said a similar thing there, right?
Say again? I'm sorry.
That Christians should make laws to restrain evil is kind of what he was saying there.
Yeah, he just said that. Yeah. In fact, he said he was for, and this was the thinking cap comment. He's for Christians being in politics and for them ruling righteously.
Yeah, to restrain evil. And Scott Aniol said the same thing. He said Christians in office should only legislate to restrain evil, but that's actually not the call of government in Romans 13. There's a bifold call to government as God's deacon in terms of how that operates, and that's not only to just punish evil, but also to applaud good and promote good. So, and here's the tricky thing, because when we ask, well, what good are we going to uphold as a Christian legislator? Where do you go to find that content? I'm just I'm just asking, I just don't know why that gets ignored. Why no one on Owen's side seems to really talk about that much. It's like, okay, so I'm a Christian in office. What's the good that I'm supposed to uphold? Well, all right. So you don't want me to put forth a blasphemy law, but what other laws am I not allowed to apply based on God's law? I feel like that's a fair question that never really gets answered.
Yeah. Also, conversely, that wasn't necessarily the goal in the United States. Many states and colonies,
you were saying,
have had blasphemy laws since the founding of our nation.
Doug Wilson argues that every culture and every government has blasphemy laws.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Which is absolutely true, because if you go into Canada and you call someone a tranny, you get your bank account frozen and thrown in jail.
Yeah, you go into
ask Josh Alexander.
go into England and
ask Josh Alexander. We had him on the podcast
and make a comment about the fact that Hamas is terrorists and Palestinians shouldn't kill Jews, and they'll come to your house and arrest you. So that's the thing that happened in the.
Yep. So every culture has blasphemy laws. It's just which blasphemy laws are you going to play with?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, we have being canceled is essentially the public forum's version of blasphemy. So if you say something that could be cancelable, that's offending the cultural blasphemy laws,
right?
And that's not. That wasn't to get off. This isn't time. This ain't the time or the place to have a discussion on whether or not we should have blasphemy laws or not. That wasn't the point. I don't know why I pulled the Southern accent.
I don't know, but far smarter people talked about enacted blasphemy laws.
Yeah,
far smarter than us.
Yeah,
that's for darn sure.
Yeah, but the reality,
we are not mocking Southern people, by the way.
No, I actually love
the
accent. Anyway,
what you guys have done for barbecue is,
I just love the accent, and I do love barbecue, and let's not forget Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
Thank you, Lord.
Chomp chomp. That's the noise Beaver makes.
There's a great deal of good that would be that would happen in our country if we had righteous laws. And the real problem here is that we are legislating immorality. That is actively happening in our country today.
Looking at you, Ohio.
And what we need to do is not
and New Jersey.
Legislate immorality. We need to legislate righteousness, God's righteousness. And that's what we would expect of a Christian ruler. If he's
that's what God expected from Christian rulers back in the day.
Board of Ed, local dog catcher, president, we would expect them to enact righteous law.
Machine shop owner,
whatever it is, whatever you're over, it
educator.
should be whatever God has given you to be over, you should be being over it in a Christian way.
It's almost like all of Christ for all of life.
And the whole like osmotic Christianity thing, the whole Christianity by osmosis is such a straw man. It's such a frustrating thing. Like we don't want someone thinking they're a Christian because they're in a. I gotta tell you. The like it's like one of the things that I was thinking about where like people are like, well, Jews are God's chosen people, so we have to protect them. Like that, no, that's not no. Like God's chosen people are those who are looked forward towards Christ in faith, and now look back to Christ in faith. Like that's it. Those are God's chosen people, and we pray that every day, as Spurgeon, that God would save the elect and then elect more, which is just an admission of our reality that we do not know who are in the kingdom. That's why we go forth and preach the gospel to all men. But regardless, if there's a Jewish person living inside of America, they wouldn't think themselves Christians suddenly because they live inside of America.
As a matter of fact, Jewish people during the founding of America didn't think that they were Christians.
Yes, and they had specific court concerns that they would not be allowed to practice, and they were assuaged by the founding fathers. And in fact, they lived here, and despite the fact that in many states they could not hold public office, for you had to make an overtly Christian statement of faith to hold public office after the founding in almost every state, actually.
It was a simpler time.
Yes, but I mean, don't get me started. Those dirty Christian nationalists at the founding of our country, which was overtly Christian.
They're yucky.
But nonetheless, they found freedom in our nation to the point where they actually were allowed to serve in public office. And that was, each state's choice, I guess. But
and look at where we are now. All right,
and extended to everyone. But these were real. These concerns have already been addressed in our country because we did have an overtly Christian founding, and yet there were non-Christians here, and they seemed to be able to thrive inside of a system that had even blasphemy laws. Like, oh my, can you believe it? Oh, anyway, we can probably go on to the next clip. I didn't,
Rolling.
Very quickly, there's different streams of Christian nationalism, and
what do you say that there's different strands?
No, there's not different Owen strands of Christian nationalism.
Man.
There's different streams. You heard what he said.
I heard what he said, but I know what he should have said.
There's different streams of postmillennialism. There are some like Jonathan Edwards or James White at the school at which I teach. We're faculty members together. And he would argue from his postmillennial convictions that you preach the gospel and that's how the world becomes Christianized. Yep. And I don't hold that view. I would argue...
I mean, if you preach the gospel, people come to Christ. What do you call that? I mean, like, what do you call that? I don't know. What does he call that?
As a person who doesn't overtly subscribe to necessarily post-mill eschatology, like, nonetheless, the statement turns out to be true. The world becomes Christianized as people become Christians.
It's a fact. I feel like any student of history would be
like, let's say you don't subscribe to that. Let's say like that's not my worldview. Can we not subscribe to the logic of the statement? Just the simple logic of it.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Right, you preach the gospel, people turn to Christ. The world turns to Christ, the world becomes Christian, right? Like that's just right.
I mean, eventually, yeah.
All right.
We're just sorry. This isn't actually where the break is in the clip. Anyway.
You against that view, but that's Jonathan Edwards' view, and Jonathan Edwards is my favorite theologian. So that's a viable view. But the argument that we are going to make the world more Christian by law primarily is a different stream from that, and that's one that I would have concerns about as well. I think there is still a case you can make for theonomy, for example, but that is not what I would find in Scripture myself. But there are some in the post-millennial crowd who believe that the world is going to be Christianized, yes, by the gospel, but also by getting laws on the books. That's how you kind of prepare the world to be Christian. And I just find no grounding for that in the New Covenant. I want good law, but I don't think that's going to make the world Christian. The world becomes Christian when Jesus comes back and makes it his footstool.
So, are we not supposed to pray for? Who is he talking to? Timothy, where he says to pray for peace, to live peaceable lives among one another.
Yeah.
I mean, do bad laws create that environment, or
No.
do good laws create that?
Yep.
Okay, I was just wondering. I just didn't know.
The reality, though, that again, this is the same straw man. There is no law-based Christianity. Like, again, I'm not going to. Like, I don't stand up every Sunday and decry Arius. I don't have time. It's not an issue. But we've devoted now, like, literally 2 panels, a pre-conference, a whole pre-conference, by the way, not just his talk, but a whole pre-conference. This interview, like, 2 issues that aren't issues. Like, this is the whole thing. Like, if someone today is like, I'm a member of the KKK, you look at him and say, you have racistly bigoted ideas. That's stupid. Stop having those ideas.
Well, I mean,
and then we move on.
That's assuming that they're not joking initially.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, like, if someone literally, like they showed up and they had, like, all the markings and, like,
Right,
they had, like, some sort of Grand Pumbaa dragon.
It'd be like a hood.
Tattoo
There would be a hood involved.
Right. Like, have you ever seen Justified, the TV show?
Nope.
No, it was like lots of, like, Nazi symbolism and tattoos and white supremacy on in that show.
Oh, that's terrible.
Very
Why would
interesting.
anybody watch that? Oh,
It's
not
a
like
great
pro.
show. No, it's not pro those things.
Oh.
Those are usually there's always the villains. It's the villains that have
Well,
this.
as long as the Nazis are the villains, that's fine.
Jeez, Jesse. It's actually a very entertaining show.
I mean, it's not like we would want Nazis being applauded in Congress or anything.
That was not America. That
I know it was
Canada.
Parliament, but I was saying I'm American, so I wouldn't want them applauded
We
in
just
Congress.
applaud terrorists in our Congress.
That hurt, you know.
Yeah, it did. But they did censor Rashida Tlaib, so finally.
Oh, they did?
that. Yeah, they censored.
Oh,
they
thank God. Some of them
censored
common sense. Unlike the people of New Jersey who elected everyone wrong. Anyway, sorry.
including 22 Democrats even voted to censure. It's hard to say that word, censure.
Good.
The law-based Christianity, that's not what people believe, actually. People do not believe that they will make Christian laws that will then make people Christian. Like, the laws are Christian. But we cannot deny that the Scripture indicates clearly that righteous laws inform right morality. That is a fact.
A righteous law, what's a nation?
Uplifts.
Uplifts.
Exalts. Righteous laws form right morality. You know what an unrighteous law points you to? Not God.
Not God, no.
Not God. A righteous law points you towards the giver of righteousness. So you cannot deny that reality. However, it doesn't make someone a Christian or make someone a believer. Obviously not. No one thinks that. But when we make unrighteous laws, you know what we see? That people suddenly have unrighteous morals. It creates them. It promotes them. But when we make righteous laws, it promotes righteous morals. It says, oh, that's the standard. That's the standard because it's the law. As soon as you make a law, people believe that is right. That is some sort of a form of morality. That's what law is. It's always morality. And so you say, hey, you know what? It's totally acceptable to kill your baby as long as it's inside your stomach. People say, oh, well, that must be moral. You're informing, you're blinding their conscience to morality by giving them an unrighteous standard to live by as law.
Right. Or even if you gave someone the biggest benefit of the doubt and they say, oh no, I got pregnant and I don't know what to do. That law creates the option for abortion, which is absolutely horrendous and is murder.
Right. And so the Bible says
laws don't mean nothing. They're not just like things that exist.
So when the Bible says that right laws when right laws lead to right morality, they inform a right conscience. We don't want to ignore that.
Nor do acting as a tutor, as a guide.
Right. Nor would we want to in any way suggest, and again, I'm not hearing anyone suggest that these Christian laws will make us Christian. Like, that's not the reality either. So we must be careful not to create straw men when we're having these dialogues, especially straw men to things that aren't things we need to take time to necessarily discuss. Well, at this point, it's been like 45 minutes, Jess. And I actually think we do want to spend some time on the second half of this, where we have a few less clips, but we have a lot more to say about them.
Are you saying that one day there's going to be a part 2 to this?
I'm saying like next Friday, like we can make a part 2 to this. Like we can do it like ASAP, so that you can have back-to-back Fridays.
B2B.
You will not have to wait long.
These stands are back.
This is just the kickoff, and again, I don't want to. Again, I can disagree with ideas, but it doesn't mean I have any issues with the actual man. I have any issues with what's being done right now over this particular topic, but I actually am very appreciative of Owen Strachan's work in a great deal of areas. We just have some difference here over this.
Yeah. I mean, and like, it's not like we wouldn't be unwilling to talk to him.
Oh, certainly not. And I'm sure he would be able to inform us of a great many things. But he also probably doesn't have a lot of time to talk to us. And as we'll see next week, he probably wouldn't want to platform us. But that's why we kind of need to stop this one and kind of save some of the content for next time, so this doesn't become a 2-hour
taste. We'll whet your whistle.
Is there any announcements or anything that we have going on that we need to relate?
Just drop that right on me. No, we're restocking some shirts soon. So hopefully we'll be able to push out some more stuff to the website.
Yes, and for all of you that are waiting on your order, we do apologize, and hopefully you've contacted us so that we can get you a little bonus, something or other.
We're trying.
Yeah, it's
been a lot of them. It's been a heck of a
month. It's not been. Anyway, we're working on it, and then we'll also have hopefully a relaunch of another shirt that might be exciting to go. Yeah, that'll be exciting. So that's all coming up, and
that's about it.
That's about it.
That's all I got.
All right, good. Well, then we hope this day, dear Christian, that you indeed will seize the faith.